You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Hi, I'm Bella Perez Rubio, Puma Podcast for Teka Teka News. An 18-year-old Filipina is racing towards history. Bianca Bustamante, a race car driver from Laguna, has become the first woman to sign with global brand McLaren. Under McLaren's driver development program, Bustamante joins the team's talent pipeline, which aims to help drivers progress towards Formula One, IndyCar, and Formula E. She is also set to race under the McLaren banner at the ART Grand Prix for the 2024 F1 Academy. How does a young woman like Bianca break the glass ceiling in motorsport and show that it isn't just for men or for the rich? Listen to an excerpt from the episode Chasing the F1 Dream, The Rise of Racer Bianca Bustamante, hosted by sports journalist Bigo. This story was first published on Puma Podcast's Women in Sports podcast, Go Hard Girls, in December.
I've been racing for the past 10 years of my life, and I'm currently the representative of women in motorsport here in the Philippines.
Bianca is the first Filipino to qualify for the W Series, an all-female single-seater racing championship. Launched in 2018, the W Series provides equal opportunities for women and eliminates the financial barriers of motorsport. It hopes to pave the way for women back into the Formula One since Italy's Lelia Lombardi last started in the race in 1976. When Bianca was 6 years old, she was already getting free drives in motorsport competitions, which allowed her to gain experience. Free drives serve as sponsorships from racing teams that are officially registered to participate in competitions. Normally, racers need to pay for a seat in a team or bring in sponsors to help fund the team and cover costs. So that's how much potential Bianca showed at a very young age.
I pretty much didn't have a childhood outside of racing, to even a point where I quit going to regular school to go to a home study program where I could, allocate my time whenever I needed to be racing, but on off season, I'd be studying. So, those are like one of the decisions that we made that actually helped me excel at motorsport. It was a sacrifice, but in the end, I would say it was very worth it. I realized I actually got discovered as well. The more that I did international races and the more that I actually was winning.
Apart from choosing to focus solely on her racing career, Bianca and her family had to sacrifice more financially. This is not new to the motorsport community. Most of F1's most successful athletes, like multiple world champion Lewis Hamilton, legend Michael Schumacher, Kimi Raikkonen, and Sebastian Vettel, were not from wealthy families. Hamilton, who is now number 17 on Forbes' list of highest-paid athletes in 2022, and his father juggled 3 jobs to fuel his racing career. The Breton started racing when he was given a used go-kart that cost as much as his family's monthly income. Schumacher, F1's greatest racer of all time, had to prove he was a prodigy when he won his first club championship at 6 years old. He used a kart that his father built for him out of discarded parts. The common denominator among these stars and Bianca is the grit and huge family effort to fulfill a racing career.
It's a truly expensive sport, and even just the grassroots of motorsport, which is karting, already costs billions a year. And that's something that we just couldn't afford. We didn't have that amount of money. My dad had to move away when I was a baby just so he could financially support the family, put food on the table. Adding all of that to expenses, also my karting career, which is very, very tough for us.
But Bianca found many supporters in the motorsport community.
People knew that, I wasn't from a wealthy family, that everything that was given to me, I really had to work hard for it. And people saw that in me, which is why they wanted to support in any way they could. And I'm very grateful to everyone that did. There was moments in my younger karting days where we couldn't even afford to buy a set of tires or even entry fee. And some drivers or some of the parents from the team would put in money just so I could enter the race. And there was moments like that where I really just felt like, will I ever even make it? Because at this point, we couldn't afford anything. Throughout my karting years, I was coached by my godfather, Elson Carpio. He really was one of the backbone of my motorsport career. It was very tough for us financially to afford a coach, to afford a team, but he was very vigilant with that. He gave us free coaching, free support.
Because her participation in races was heavily dictated by the number of free seats in different teams, Bianca had to bounce from team to team. That meant it was difficult for her to build a foundation. She was finally given a permanent seat by Kart Republic Asia, which allowed her to win her succeeding tournaments. While many kids her age would be out playing and having fun with their friends and family, Bianca was focused on fulfilling her racing dream.
I couldn't just be driving around for fun, enjoying and everything, because it's not something that you just go out and do for fun. It costs thousands just even for fuel. And so my parents would always tell me that if you take this very mediocre and if you don't take it seriously as much as we do and as much as everyone else's do, then tell us, because we won't push you or won't pursue or we won't risk all of these things just for you to succeed. And at a young age of 6 years old, I was already pressured into performing well, into driving good. But, in the end, it's what I needed to perform well. Having that mentality growing up helped me push in really, really tough moments. So, yeah.
In January 2022 in Arizona, Bianca was called up to join the W Series shootout. This is the qualifiers to the W Series. She didn't have high expectations.
When I was selected for the shootout, they told me that there's a high chance that you won't be racing this year, but we want to get to know you and we want to, see you, analyze you as a driver, and hopefully put you in the following year, which would be 2023. That was the initial plan. I wasn't actually supposed to be racing this year because I had zero experience in Formula cars. I haven't been racing for the past 2 years.
Bianca proved to be the dark horse of the shootout and grabbed one of the 5 seats in the 2022 W Series season. She now enters a new stage that is going to change her life. The W Series, founded by Catherine Bond-Muir, has given opportunities to women in motorsport in the last 3 years. She was a former intellectual property solicitor who moved to corporate finance, where she worked on sports, leisure, and gaming deals. After a career break, her next big thing was to invest in women's sports, specifically motorsport.
It is a women's series run by women. They employ so many female technical engineers. We have a female mechanic, she's doing all the hard work. She's putting the car together, screwing everything. And I'm just man, just so inspiring.
Though the W Series had to come to an abrupt end because of the lack of funding, Bianca clinched her highest finish of 9th place in the Miami Grand Prix in May. She also had many great moments that she wouldn't trade for anything else.
Competing, with Jamie Chadwick, Bianca Bustamante, Emma Kimalainen, those are the drivers that I look up to. And the fact that I get to be on the grid with them, learning from them, having just wholesome moments of just us laughing together, having a chat, and having all these role models around me as I grow up is just something that it's invaluable. And having good role models around you allows me to be a better person, a better driver, and that helps me become a better role model around the girls around me.
Aside from impressing Filipino fans, Bianca was also inspiring the next generation of female drivers by giving them a glimpse of the motorsport life during the Singapore Grand Prix.
W Series, they do lots of programs where girls get to come to the pit and we get to show them around. Actually, in Singapore, I was one of the hosts for one of the tour groups of girls that went in. It was for inspiring girls. And so there was a lot of kids aged from 7 to 15 or 18, 19 that went around the pit, and I got to show them the car and not just try to inspire them to be a racing driver, but at the same time inspire them to pursue the world of motorsport. And that just goes through a lot of branches, like engineering. I want to see more female doing engineering because I'm pursuing engineering as well. So, and that's also a stigma where most engineers are male.
Aside from breaking gender barriers, Bianca dreams of developing the Philippine motorsport community as a whole.
Well, for here in the Philippines, I definitely would think that, it needs more exposure. For me, reaching F1 is a dream, but, far beyond that, I want to have a Philippine Grand Prix. I want F1 to be racing here, even though I won't be in the grid. But as long as they race here, I feel like I will be very complete. And, I want to help make that happen. I want, more people to find the sport because it is truly amazing. But of course, overall, W Series is doing an amazing job with giving women opportunities, but I think moving forward, I want to be racing with men.
Even young boys dream of becoming race car drivers, but the financial barriers, as Bianca shared earlier, are obvious. Bianca hopes that her zeal for her racing career will inspire others to do the same.
In the end, it was all because they saw my dedication, they saw my passion, and they saw that I was working so hard just to make everything happen, At times where we financially didn't have anything, I would message teams, I would message the managers if they have another seat for a driver, but unfortunately there's no budget. I would knock on everyone's door just so they could help support me. And I wasn't shy. I wasn't afraid of asking for help because I know that this was something I wanted to do and I would do absolutely everything for it.
Bianca continues to inspire Filipinos and the youth with her passion and determination for racing. The best part is that she is only getting started.
There's going to be times where you'll feel like everything's against you. You feel like you're not getting any better. But in the end, you can always better yourself every single day. And that's something I actually live by as well. 1% better every day. It might not always be visible, but there will always be a moment where all of it will add up together and you'll see all of the hard works you put in.
Again, I'm Bella Perez Rubio, and you just heard an excerpt from Chasing the F1 Dream, The Rise of Racer Bianca Bustamante. That episode was produced by Nina Toralba with editorial support from Siege Tantenko and Trisha Aquino and put together by Joe Salcedo and Freddie Blanco. It was a product of the Investing in Women's Sports Content Audience Research of the WINS initiative. If you like this episode and would like to hear more inspiring stories about Filipinas in sports, listen to Go Hard Girls on your podcast app. Maraming salamat po.